Jason.
And this is the Perfectly Screwed Podcast. So, have you heard, Jason, about this fucking fag?
No.
I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Fuck this piece of shit. I guess he's going all over social media saying Gen Xers didn't watch the Challenger explode in the classroom. That we weren't forced to watch the TV program The Challenger. He said we're all lying. Now, you were alive in 1986. You're a Gen Xer, right?
I was born in 83.
Right, so you were alive in 86.
I wouldn't have been in school.
Oh, you wouldn't have been in school? Well, then you wouldn't have known it. But yeah, they made us watch the Challenger go up, and it blew up. They had it on television. And it exploded. And this dude, I guess, is going around saying to everybody, oh, that never happened. Gen Xers are just trying to get some sympathy, saying they watched the Challenger explode, and it didn't explode. They didn't make us watch it on TV. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. You're probably some fucking Gen Zer in your mom's basement, sucking your daddy's cock. Go fuck yourself. That's what I say.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine it is something that was watched. Of course.
Of course it was watched. It's retarded to think it wasn't watched, man. Now, come on.
What a...
Huh?
That would have been a devastating thing to watch, too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I've seen it. Everybody's seen it.
Well, no, I've seen it, yeah. I saw it when it actually happened. But, you know, it was traumatic, dude, because you're a little kid, next thing you know, boom.
Where was the Challenger headed?
Into space.
Well, I
It was going to
understand
go around
that,
the moon.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing was, it was supposed to be like this advanced spacecraft, supposed to be able to orbit the moon, and it had a crew of people that weren't, like, technically astronauts. They were like a school teacher and, you know, normal people. They were going to go for an orbit and come back. But yeah, it blew up. And it fucked everybody up because they're like, damn, you know.
NASA's fascinating to me. It always has been.
Well, NASA's extremely fascinating, yes.
Because NASA is basically started by the Nazis.
Well, right now,
I mean, I don't... Well,
Musk is working on redoing, being able to get new heat shields in place, right? Because they need renewable heat shields where they can put, or heating blankets or something where they can put the shit back on the thing. So this is how they're going to get to Mars. You know, they got to get reusable parts that can be reused over and over.
Right. That makes sense.
I mean, eventually we're probably going to get to Mars. I don't know if it'll be in me and your lifetime, but eventually. But eventually, AI is going to take over too. But right now, so what do you think about the economy right now, for instance? I don't think, you know, personally, a lot of people are still jumping Trump's ass for a lot of things. But, you know, other than the fact that I did not think the tariffs were a good idea. And it turns out they are not a good idea because already prices are starting to go up for a lot of things. Because of the tariffs, but prices were already high, they're just going higher.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought to begin with, the tariffs were a bad idea, but the Doge thing that they're doing is fucking brilliant. I gotta give Trump props and applause on that whole idea.
See, I don't know what that is.
It's called Department of Government Efficiency. Trump made a whole new department in the government. And the head of it is Elon Musk. And he's going through different parts of the government and finding out things that possibly could be either fraudulent money or money spent on frivolous shit that we can cut back on so that we have more money in the government and less money spent on frivolous nonsense. For instance, you gave something like, I don't know what it was, I think like $2 billion to research transgender studies of animals in Iraq. $2 billion to research transgender animals in Iraq, Jason. Because that's what I want my tax money to be spent on. How about you?
Oh,
I was just thinking
100%.
to myself, you know what I would really, really love my tax money to be spent
Right.
on? Transgender studies of animals in Iraq. Dude, they spent another $250 million, right? On getting these kids Sesame Street in Afghanistan.
wow.
Priorities, Jason.
No, I'd say
Priorities. Rebuilding the community that we bombed, that's beside the point. But finding out whether their cats and dogs over there are transgender,
that's huge.
and making sure
It's huge.
that their children can watch Sesame Street in their broken down rubble, that's important.
Absolutely.
That's.
I mean, I guess if I were to assess the economy, I would say, yeah, prices are high, have been going up, and are steadily going up.
Mm.
But wages for the working man are staying pretty level.
Yeah, I mean, they went up a little.
A little.
$1 here, $1 there,
But not
nothing,
enough to match.
No. Not enough to match inflation, not even close.
So I don't know. I think the tariff thing, I mean, Trump will tell you that it had to be done. You know what I mean? That and that of course it's gonna affect things right now, but that it was necessary for the long term. But I don't know.
Well, see, that's what he's saying. He said the long term.
Right. But I don't know this.
Neither do I.
Right.
I just see the fact that prices are going up, buddy. What?
But I would have to think also, just commonsensically.
Did you say commonsensically?
Yeah, just commonsensically. If
we are making up words here on the podcast today.
If you're doing something to piss off China,
and Canada, and Mexico,
as it pertains to goods coming in to America that fucking Americans buy, I just don't know that can be a good idea because we buy a lot of shit from China.
and Canada. Our automobile industry goes backwards and forwards across Canada like 100 times before a car gets built. And I mean, Canada's basically already took every American liquor off their shelves, all the American products. They said they're going to boycott America if Trump keeps us up.
So I don't know.
And his reasoning behind it is that he wants Canada and Mexico to do something with their borders to stop fentanyl from coming across. But this is what you got to understand. Canada runs the whole north side of our country. Let's start there.
Right.
A. B. Okay, there's wilderness for hundreds and hundreds of miles in Canada and the parts of our country between Canada and our country. So what are you supposed to do? Build a wall all the way down the Canadian side of the country? What do you want to do, motherfucker? How you going to keep fentanyl out?
You're not.
Mm-mm. Of course you're not. Of course you're not. That's just ridiculous as shit to think that you would ever be able to keep fentanyl out.
But
I mean, it's just ridiculous. And that's why he wants to put the tariffs on Canada, though. Because he wants them to figure out a way to keep fentanyl from coming into the United States. Okay. I got an idea. I mean, the only thing you can do is build a wall. And even then, you ain't going to keep it from coming in there. Because people dig tunnels.
It's a great wall, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And you can't build a wall across the fucking Lake Michigan.
Building a wall. You could build a wall all the way around the entire United States.
Yeah.
And you can say you're doing it in an effort to keep fentanyl out. But guess what's not going to ever be kept out? Fentanyl. You know what I mean? No, the government needs it.
Yeah.
They can portray, of course they're going to portray that they don't. But it's too much of a fucking business.
Mm-hmm.
It's way too much of a moneymaker.
Of course it is.
And I just think it's naive to think that any form of government is ever sustainable. I mean, nothing's ever been sustained. Nothing. There is no civilization, there is no empire, there is no form of anything that's ever been sustained. You know what I mean? For as far as we can tell throughout the entire history of the planet. I mean, now, that doesn't mean there isn't something that was working that got destroyed by something unforeseen. You know what I mean? Like a fucking natural disaster or something, a fucking asteroid strike or a fucking volcano fucking erupts.
I was reading somewhere, speaking about drugs in our country and our economy, I was reading somewhere recently, and it said that of all the poppy produced on this planet, only 10% of that is used for illegal production of drugs. So the other 90% of the poppy and opium that's grown on this planet is bought by Big Pharma. That's 90% to 95%. Yeah, so 10% is used to make illegal heroin and fentanyl and shit like that. The rest of it is legally made shit.
Yeah, I mean,
see, this is what people don't understand, man. Fentanyl is something that was created by Big Pharma. Just like Oxycontin was. Okay, but yet, what did the Schuyler family get from addicting the whole country to oxys and lying and committing fraud and all that? What did they get? I think they got a $200 million fine or a $250 million fine. Now, that sounds like a lot of money until you consider that they made $455 billion off of Oxy.
Huh.
When you find them 200 million, that's like finding me a nickel.
Right.
Yeah. That'd be like them going, now look, Brian, look, you shouldn't have done this shit. You got everybody addicted to your heroin shit, Brian. So you give us 10 cents, bud. You can go on and keep producing your heroin, okay? And that's what they did. That was what they did with that family. They basically said, here, you give us a dime, and we're not going to stop you from producing your heroin and selling it. All we're going to do is go, bad, bad. Next time, tell people you get addicted to this shit. Okay, everybody knows? Okay, break. Okay, let me go back to producing some heroin. Let's get that in the pill form. Let's get that out in the consumer.
I mean, because you just got to look at it through the whole fucking lens too, like
right.
You're not producing the drugs to fucking help anybody. That can't. Yes, of course, OxyContin is going to help. Nobody would deny that it's helping somebody who is terminally ill. and their body is just fucking writhing with cancer, and they're gonna die.
Right.
Then of course,
Right.
it's gonna. Of course, yes, absolutely, they need that to help them with the pain.
Right.
But that's not what the fuck this shit's about.
No, they were
Right?
giving it out to people with a sprained wrist.
They give it out, and then in doing so, they're not fucking stupid to the domino effect.
Oh no.
To what that means for hospitals,
Oh
for insurance, for prison, for all of these government fucking
yeah.
ran facilities that this shit is going to now produce business for. You know what I mean? Like, it's all part of it.
Right. Well, when Oxy first came out, they told doctors, look, if you push this shit, we'll give you money. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, here
That's
you
all-
go.
that's all drugs.
Make sure you push this shit,
That's all
we'll give you
drugs.
money. Right.
Right. Yes.
And they were giving it out for nothing, dude. I remember, look, and this is no fucking lie.
Oh, I know.
Look, I was a kid when Lortabs came out and codeine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I found out I was allergic to it. But you could go in the 90s and tell them you had a muscle pull or your neck hurt or you had a bad headache. They would hand you a script of Lortab 5s like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was candy, son.
No, I've lived it. You know what I mean? It was, well, fuck, dude. I'll just tell you the path that I had was it was Xannies,
Right.
and Klonopins, and Valiums,
Oh, yeah.
and then it was
That's that
Lortabs,
bullshit.
and then it was Oxy. You know what I mean? And then once those were fucking gone, it was Suboxone. You know what I mean? To not withdraw from the fucking
Yeah.
Oxy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now it's Adderall
Yeah.
and Vyvanse.
Yeah.
So what's next? I don't know. Fentanyl. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Gotta get you some fentanyl in
yeah,
there,
yeah.
please.
Like it goes in fucking it goes in fucking spurts.
Oh, yeah, of
But
course
like
it
you
is.
said, dude, I mean there was a time when I knew 3 or 4 guys that were going to the fucking doctor
Oh, yeah.
every month and getting 90 tab 10s a month.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
And
And
being
that's-
out and fucking being out in a week.
Well, see, this is the crazy shit. They were handing them tabs out and oxys out like it was candy.
I know.
And then they said, you know what? Don't worry, guys. We got you. We'll figure out a way so you guys can come down off the oxy and tabs. We'll give you methadone. Don't you worry.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And then when methadone became unpopular and they realized methadone was still pretty addictive, they said, don't worry, we got Suboxone. Got something else for you,
Yeah.
bud.
It's
Bring
always-
you right on off it.
It's always something.
So look, this is how the drug companies fuck you. First, they get you addicted to Lortabs and Oxys. Then they get you addicted to Suboxone to get you off Lortabs and Oxys that they got you addicted to in the first fucking place.
yes.
What kind of shit does that make?
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
And that's legal. Completely legal. But if I sell you a blunt, I'm going to jail?
Mm-hmm.
What? What?
Yeah, I know. It's a lot to think about, man.
It's ridiculous, is what
Just
it is.
money in general is fascinating to me. Like when did it happen? When was the first time it happened? You know what I mean? That somebody said that this piece of something, paper, whether it was a coin or a paper or whatever, that this is worth something.
Mhm.
And then everybody else agreed to it.
Well, coins used to be made out of gold and silver, so they were kind of.
But you know what I'm saying? There was a first time
Yeah.
that this came into existence.
Oh, they said,
That-
why is this
that
shiny rock? worth
somebody
something?
thought
Yeah.
this up.
Well, yeah.
And
because-
everybody else followed suit.
I mean, yeah, because really, you got to think about it. The only reason anything is worth anything is because we give value to
That's
it.
it.
Right. Because gold, I mean, if you think about it logically, gold is really just a shiny rock. Silver is just a shiny rock.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, all of these are just shiny rocks.
Of course, right. And
diamonds are just really shiny rocks.
Well, think about money now. Like, it's just a piece of goddamn paper.
Right. The only reason a diamond costs as much as it does is because we say it does.
Yeah.
But it doesn't cost anything because it's a shiny fucking rock.
Yeah. It's nothing.
It's a rock.
Completely fucking meaningless.
Right. They dig them out of the ground, for God's sake. They're rocks.
And so, like, I just find that absolutely fascinating, you know? And then...
I find it fascinating that we take rocks out of the ground and certain rocks we consider valuable, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And other rocks are considered
or
trash.
just our driveway.
Yeah, they're fine. Yeah. Gravel's in the driveway, that's fine. That costs nothing. But if they're shiny and clear, now we got something. Right.
No, it's... No, we've tricked them into believing that it's worth something.
Yeah.
And that it really means something to put it on the finger of a fucking woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
The only time something is worth something is if there's smaller quantities of it and it's valuable because it can be used for something.
But still,
is actually true worth of a product.
Right.
Like if I have a very rare type of, say, fruit, okay, or vegetable, and I'm the only guy who has this vegetable, then that vegetable's worth something because there's a very small quantity of it, and I'm the only one who has it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
So therefore, that's actual value. But yeah, everything else is made up value.
Which is how, economy, that's really probably what we're talking about, how it got started, right?
Right.
I mean, somebody had some potatoes.
And somebody else potatoes, had a chicken.
Somebody else had some chickens.
Yeah.
Right. And they were trading.
Right.
But then one day, guy has his chickens, but the other guy's like, man, I don't have any potatoes right now. I'm going to have some. I'm going to have some in a week, you know what I mean? But I don't have any right now, but I still need that chicken. So that's probably when, all right, well, let's sign this piece of fucking paper, you know what I mean? So we don't forget.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's fine.
And I
give me a few extra potatoes. How about that?
And I owe you, right.
Yeah.
Right. I'll give you the chicken. Yes, you bring me the potatoes in a week, and bring me a few extra.
Yeah, throw me a couple extra potatoes.
So that's how we start. Yeah, and then, but like, it's just crazy to me too, dude. That we're it. Like, we're it. There's nothing else on the planet that puts value on anything.
No.
Why? Why is that? That's crazy to me.
Well, if you think about it, look, if I was to throw what we would consider a very large amount of gold, say a big ass nugget of gold, right on the floor in front of my cat would play with that nugget of gold just like any other rock.
Yep.
Because there's no difference to that cat between that and any other rock I throw on the ground.
Just like your cat couldn't get shit less that you have to pay rent this week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or that your car's out of gas.
Yeah.
What the fuck do I care?
Yeah.
What are you talking? What does that mean?
Yeah.
And so that's wild to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that we have conformed, dude. I don't. That's another thing I just don't understand, and that's why I don't think it matters what form of government. If you have a form of government, it will always be destined at some time to fall.
Oh yeah.
Because it's never sustainable. And it's very possible that our capitalist form of government, it very well could be the best. Hell, I don't know.
The fuck.
But it's going to...
The fuck.
There comes a tipping point when it has to fail.
Yeah.
It'll always fail.
Yeah.
Because some people have too much.
Right.
And way too many people have nothing.
Right.
And that's happening on the planet. I mean, I don't know. There's like 26 dudes have like the same amount of money as like 4.5 million people, and there's only
billion.
Yeah, and there's only 8 billion on the goddamn planet.
Yeah.
So when 26 guys have the same amount of money as half the people on the planet, that's a problem. That's all.
Well, yeah.
That's gonna lead to fucking. Yeah. That's gonna lead to war.
Right.
And yeah.
When you got two people on this planet that have 90% of the wealth, and right now that's true.
Because
90% of the wealth on this planet is divided up between Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk.
So, like, how many billions of dollars are these guys worth? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I can look that up real quick.
So, like...
I can give you an answer to that. I don't know. Musk has been having a really bad time lately.
But let's just say Bezos is worth $20 billion.
Oh, more than that. Look, Musk is worth $373.8 billion.
So let's... And there's 8 to 9 billion people on the planet, right?
Uh-huh.
Why can Elon Musk just not give everybody $1 billion?
Bezos is worth $209.5 billion.
Why can't Jeff Bezos just give every person on the planet $1 billion?
Well, Mark Zuckerberg's worth $184.6 billion, so if you took Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg, and they all got together, they could probably give at least one person, every person on the planet,
of course,
$1 billion.
If just Bezos...
If you took those three together, you're talking about 3, 4, 5, 6, basically $700, $800 billion.
And we're talking, say there's 9 billion people on the planet. Each person gets $1 billion. That's $9 billion. The fuck is that?
It's 800 billion.
It's a dime.
It's nothing.
It's a dime.
That's toilet paper. Yeah.
But it seems to me that would be fair. Everybody has $1 billion. Motherfucker, if you squander it, you don't get help. That's the fucking deal. I think everybody signs up for that.
I don't even need $1 billion. You give me 200 million, I'm good to go.
Right, but you see what my point is.
Yeah. You give me $200 million, I promise you I'll never work again. But see, this is the problem. You can't do that. Because if you gave everybody $1 billion, society breaks down. Because look, this is the thing. You gotta have people that work at Wendy's. You gotta have people to work at McDonald's. You gotta have people to work at the bank. You gotta have people to work retail and do jobs that other people don't want to do. But if you give everybody on the planet $1 billion, nobody does any of those jobs. Therefore, none of those jobs get done. So until AI,
can't control them, right?
So until AI takes over, we have to be able to have somebody do these jobs. So therefore, you can't do anything like that, because the economy would break down to nothingness. It would be over. And then money breaks down to nothingness, and then nothing. It wouldn't matter because you couldn't go buy anything.
I agree, and that's what I'm saying. Like,
well,
as long as you have, anything. As long as you have any form of government that is, posing control over a society like that, then it's always going to fail. It's always going to fail either way.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is exactly right. You know what I mean?
You have to have all three.
And that goes back to the value is only what we give it. You know what I'm saying? Because if everybody now has $1 billion, it ain't worth anything if nobody's working.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, what you have to have in a country, what you want ideally, is a huge middle class, a small upper class, and a small poor class. That's ideal in a country. Because if you have that, your economy's booming.
Right.
Right. You don't want a lot of rich people, because if you have too many rich people, then you don't have anybody doing the work. And you don't want a lot of poor people, because you got to have some poor people. Because again, you got to have your people that will work at McDonald's and work at Wendy's and do housekeeping and do jobs that a lot of people, A, don't want to do, and B, doesn't pay very well.
Right.
But you still have those jobs that have to be filled by somebody. So you take your middle class that does most of the middle to higher paying jobs, then you take your poor people that still do, some of the jobs that need to be done. Then you take your rich people that do very little. The problem with this country is the middle class is shrinking, the poorer class is getting bigger, and the richer class is not. So that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
When your middle class shrinks, that's when your country collapses. Because there's nobody to support the economy.
And it's just impossible to stop, though, because when the middle class is booming, then they're spending a bunch of money. And when they're spending a bunch of money, that's when rich people start getting richer. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Now to the point where what we're seeing happen is happening.
Well, no, the bubble's about to pop, the credit bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And it's already started, and it's going to really pop real soon because, see, they stopped wanting to raise people's wages. See, up until about the 60s or 70s, right, wages matched inflation. Okay, when inflation would go up, people would raise wages to match inflation. So therefore, people made wages close to inflation. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And they did that all the time, every year. That's why they would give you a yearly increase in pay. It was called your, what was it called? A cost of living increase. They used to give them at every factory, every place of business, cost of living increase. Well, in the 70s, companies decided, look, if we stop giving cost of living increases, we could make a lot more money. But how are we going to get these people to still be able to buy our stuff without cost of living increases? Because they're not going to have enough money. Well, wait a second, we got an idea. Credit cards.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And in the 1970s, they invented credit cards, which was a great way for people who couldn't afford things right then to pay for them and then pay later.
Yeah.
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 Unfortunately, the credit bubble, the housing bubble, the mortgage bubble, and all these credit bubbles they had going on popped a few years ago and are getting worse.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's one reason our economy is sinking into the pit hole that we're in now.
That makes sense, right.
Because you can't survive that way. People got to be paid a decent wage to be able to survive. But anyways, I don't know what you would call this episode. We were just talking, but I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, random rambling on the economy.
Rambling. And we will see you next time.
Later.